Nearly 4 years after peace talks began in 2012, the Colombian government and Latin America's oldest insurgency, the FARC, have finally reached a deal to bring to an end more than 5 decades of armed conflict. It is a landmark moment for all of Colombia. Here are just a couple of the most shocking statistics. During the conflict, an estimated 220,000 people lost their lives. 50,000 were forcibly disappeared. 660,000 people were widowed and orphaned, and over 8 million people were internally displaced. Now, this peace process has created more hope than any other previous negotiations in decades. The parties reached agreements on rural development issues, drug trafficking, political participation, a bilateral and definitive ceasefire, and compensation for the victims. But does the signing of a final peace deal between the government and the FARC actually mean that Colombia has achieved peace? For those who have always seen the FARC as a result of Colombia's entrenched inequality, poverty, social exclusion, and land concentration, the peace deal is only the first step towards building peace. The feeling among many in Colombia is that the ultimate key to a stable and long-standing peace is social justice, an issue in which Colombia has not done well. The country remains Latin America's second most unequal, and almost half of the rural population lives below the poverty line. There is also now a very large unanswered question. Will those who have agreed to lay down their weapons be able to participate in politics? Or will they meet the same fate as the nearly 5,000 members of the leftist political party Patriotic Union, who following a peace deal in the 80s were murdered by state forces and paramilitaries? The outlook isn't great. Over the last 5 years, more than 500 political activists have been killed. This political violence has been largely attributed to paramilitary groups that continue to expand over roughly a third of the country. Paramilitaries with consistent ties to Colombian elites and the military. Colombia's supporters of peace are convinced that tackling the paramilitaries, together with guarantees of political participation, is as important as the recently reached peace deal, if a lasting peace is to be achieved in Colombia.